Today we're going to be going through a list on Goodreads that has 80 of the most popular books from the last decade. I love seeing what random lists Goodreads puts together. It's such an interesting way to look at what books have been the most popular. This list today is all contemporary fiction and some historical fiction, I think. There's no fantasy, sci-fi, or romance in there. But let's go through the list, chat about it, see what I've read, what I want to read, and if I think some of these actually deserve to be on the most popular list. Also, if I keep looking down, I have my laptop down here. I don't have like a nice place to prop it, so sorry about that. I'm going to pop the screen here so you guys can follow along with me. So we're gonna start in 2025 and go backwards. So starting with fiction published this year. So it's only September, so I guess there's still time to add to this list, but these are what are most popular so far. Broken Country came out at the beginning of this year and I was maybe interested in it. Sometimes Reese's book club picks are a hit or miss for me. Wild Dark Shore I have on my shelves and I do want to read soon. Everyone I know in real life that has read it absolutely loves it. Atmosphere. For some reason, I just don't have an interest in reading this book. I read Daisy Jones and the Six and Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, as well as some of her backlist books. And for some reason, her newer stuff just hasn't appealed to me as much. I don't know. Fredrik Backman, I have no interest in. I've read, I think, 3 of his books, and they're just a little too sappy sweet for me. I don't really connect with the writing. These other ones, again, I've heard good things about, but not really on my radar, except for Isola. I want to pick this up when it comes out in paperback because it's such a little book. It's like, I don't want to spend $30 on that. Okay, it looks like for 2024, a lot of these I own, want to read, or have read, so that's interesting. The only 2 that aren't really on a list for me is Kristen Hanna's The Women and Kate Quinn's The Briar Club, which tracks because I'm honestly not a huge historical fiction girl. I have thought about adding The Briar Club, but I have another Kate Quinn on my shelves that I want to read to know if I like her. The only one that I have actually read on this is Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. I'm a big Sally Rooney girl. To me, she can do no wrong. My favorite is Beautiful World, Where Are You? But this one I still really enjoyed as well. And then actually on my bookshelves are Leanne Moriarty's newest book and Real Americans. Martyr is actually the book that I got the most recently. I got it in a book swap thing. And then The Wedding People and James are both on my list of books that I'd like to read. 2023, let's check it out. So out of these 8, I have read 3 of them. I've read Yellowface, which I absolutely loved. This was a really great book club discussion book. Super fun to talk about it with a group of people. We all kind of had different takes on what we liked and didn't like about it. And it was one of those books that after we talked about it, I felt like we all actually liked the book even more. The Covenant of Water I read with a group of, I think 2 or 3 friends. This book was a lot. It was one of those books that after you spend so much time with it, because it's a ginormous book, it's like I can't help but have love for it and love for the characters because I've just genuinely spent so much time with them. Whether or not I actually enjoyed the book, I was like, these are my people now. I have to have some kind of love and affection for them. Wayward was actually also a book that I read for book club and I really enjoyed it. It's witchy, it's a story about women. It has a bit of historical fiction, but enough modern things that I really liked it. Okay, other books on this list that I'm interested in, even though I don't have it marked. I know I'll read Tom Lake at some point. I've liked Ann Patchett in the past, but it's just not super high on my priority list. Like, if I see it at a used bookstore, I'll probably buy it. And same with most of these books like Berry Pickers, Heaven and Earth Grocery Store, and Hello Beautiful. If I see them somewhere for a discounted price, I'll probably purchase it and have it on my shelves. But The Frozen River, like I said, not a historical fiction girl, so don't really plan on picking that one up. 2022. I have read 3 of these and 2 of them are on my bookshelves. So of these 3 that I've read, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is definitely my favorite. I absolutely love that book. It really tugs at your heartstrings. You really feel for the characters. And it had some really unique elements with the video game aspect that I just thought were really cool. Lessons in Chemistry at this point is kind of a classic. I don't really have much to say that would add something new to the conversation about it. Remarkably Bright Creatures, I don't really love animal main characters and I don't typically connect with like a crotchety old person character as much. Those 2 things and combined, like, it just wasn't the book for me, but I do see why so many people love this book and connect with this book, and I can agree that objectively it is a good book, but it just wasn't for me. And then on my bookshelves are The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I've read lots of other Maggie O'Farrell books and I absolutely love her stuff, just haven't gotten to this one yet. And Trust. I think when I picked Trust up, I actually thought it was a science fiction book without really knowing anything about it, so we'll see if I actually enjoy it, but I do love the cover. Demon Copperhead I started actually with the same group of friends that I read The Covenant of Water with, and I got maybe 10% in and I just couldn't do it. It just didn't really capture me. And then the other two on this list, I don't have a big interest in. 2021, I have read one of these books and two of them are on my bookshelves. I read Cloud Cuckoo Land last year and I absolutely loved it. I really didn't know what I would think because it has these kind of wacky different perspectives that you're not really sure how they fit together, but definitely one of my favorite books that I read last year. So good. On my shelves are The Rose Code, which I did say I have a Kate Quinn on my shelves. This is the one that I think I will like, but it just has to be when I'm really feeling like I want to try and read historical fiction. And then The Reading List. I don't really know if I'm still into these like cozy books about like the power of books and reading. I used to be, I don't know if I am now, so I'm not sure how this book will go for me. The other books on this list I'm not really that interested in. I am interested in Open Water, and again, if I see that at a bookstore, I'll probably pick it up. I think it's also short, and I've heard that it's really, really great, but it just hasn't been at the top of my radar. West with Giraffes, I honestly have never heard of. It's like my first time seeing this, so I don't even know what that is about. Incredible true story of two giraffes who made headlines and won the heart of the Depression era America. And it's not for me. And then yeah, these other books just haven't really caught my attention. 2020, what a year. I have read 3 of these books and I really love all 3 of these books, which is really cool. The Vanishing Half, that is like the book that kind of took over the world. I think it hit at a really important time in 2020 and started some really interesting conversations, and I loved the writing. I really enjoyed it. I'm actually curious about when Britt Bennett will come out with her next book because I'm thinking it's about time. Hamnet is one of those books that I had like, my expectations were on the ground because I just didn't really think I would care about this book, but do I care? Oh my gosh, it makes me cry to think about. I'm so excited for the movie. I absolutely love this book. Love Maggie O'Farrell, Queen. Love her. Writers and Lovers by Lily King is one of my favorite types of genres of books, which is like a lost 30-something woman figuring out her life, dealing with love, career, friendships. It was just really beautiful and I really connected with it. These other books, I've heard great things about The Girl with the Louding Voice. My Dark Vanessa I know is kind of controversial. I'll probably read it at some point though. And then these other 3 just don't really appeal to me. 2019, this is when I started to get back into reading. I have read one of these books and one of them is on my shelves. So I read A Woman Is No Man, I think in 2019 or 2020. Really, really loved it. It definitely provided new perspectives for me that I didn't know of before. And just a really, really beautifully written novel. Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys. I do plan on reading this soon. It's actually on my little TBR of 12 books that I want to read in 2025, but that's like a whole different video. Let me know if you'd like to see me trying to accomplish some of those books. Other books I'm interested in from this list, Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. Honestly feels like a classic at this point. It's one of those that I will pick up if I see it in a used bookstore. Girl, Woman, Other and The Water Dancer are also books that I've heard amazing things about but just haven't prioritized on my TBR. The other 3, not as interested in. Okay, 2018. I have not read any of these books, but one of them is on my shelves, and that is The Tattooist of Auschwitz. I know I said I don't really read historical fiction, which is true. This was a book that my mom owned. That when I moved here, I was like, I'll maybe take a look at your bookshelves and see if there's anything I'd be interested in taking with me. And this was one that I just grabbed. I have been to Auschwitz, so it's a subject I find really interesting. I'm sure I'll read it at some point. I don't know. Where the Crawdads Sing is a book that I have absolutely no interest in reading literally ever. There I would like to read. The Overstory I would like to read. I actually do own The Great Believers. I forgot. I think I bought it at a used bookstore. The others I'm not that interested in. An American Marriage I've heard really great things about. Place for Us, I've never heard of this. And The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell sounds semi-familiar, but I'm not really familiar with it. 2017, I have read 3 of these books. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is definitely my favorite Taylor Jenkins read. Really, really loved this. No Fires Everywhere is a book that I thought was just okay. And Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine is actually one of the first books that got me back into reading, so I have kind of a soft place in my heart for it, but at the end of the day, like, it's just okay in the grand scheme of other books that I've read. Other books I'm interested in, definitely Pachinko I want to read at some point. It's kind of one of those in the TBR of my mind kind of books that I don't need to put it on a list, but I know that I want to read it at some point. I kind of feel similarly about Jessamine Ward, that I know her books are going to be so good and impactful that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to read those someday, but like, not going to put it on a list. I don't know if that makes sense. The other books I don't have much interest in, or I just like haven't heard a lot about them, but let me know if I should check them out. and the last one 2016. I have not read any of these books, but 2 of them are on my shelves. A Gentleman in Moscow and The Underground Railroad are both on my TBR. These are both actually kind of historical fiction, which would make sense why I haven't actually read them yet, because they're books that kind of toe that line of literary historical fiction that I am interested in, and I know it's going to be really good, but it just takes a lot of brain power for me to like be ready and excited to read a historical fiction book. I am interested in both Homegoing and Behold the Dreamers and would love to pick those up next time I see them. The other books, like I've said many times before, I have no interest in. If you feel like I am missing out on any of the books on this list, please let me know which ones I should read, either that are on my bookshelves that I'm interested in reading, or that I'm like, I have no interest in that. Fight me in the comments if you think I'm wrong. How many books from this list have you read, and how many do we match up on? Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to stick around for more. Share with a friend if you like my takes, and I'll see you next time.